Hi everyone, it's NonnaGrace, and I'm from Western New York. Today is another really warm day, and Jim was laughing kind of like at me because I was putting this on to cover my shoulders. Well, today I want to talk about things that we did when we were younger that we're not allowed to do today. Like swing on a rope over a creek. We used to do that. We used to swing over the creek with the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Ride a bike without protection. We didn't have any helmet or shoulder pads or knee pads or whatever hand pads. And we'd learn on a bike that was way too big for us.
With no training wheels.
With no training wheels, right. We used to drink from a garden hose. Do you drink from a garden hose? Did you drink from a garden hose?
I still will.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt you.
Nah.
Ride in a car with no seatbelt. We used to do that. I remember my mother, when we were going to stop, she used to put her arm out to stop us if she was going to stop quickly. She sort of knew whether she was going to or not. And we could also ride in the back seat up on the back of the window if you wanted to, which I never did. I would get car sick for sure. And you could ride in the back of the pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
That was allowed to do. I don't know if they allow you today or not.
Only if there is seats and seat belts.
Oh,
in New York State, at least.
No TV most of the time. We had a little bit of television in the morning. When Captain Kangaroo was on, we used to be able to watch him. Then we went to bed. We were in bed I had to be in bed as a senior by 9 o'clock. And the younger kids went, when we were younger, we went by 7:30. And we used to complain in the summer because it's not dark yet. But we used to go to bed. We didn't have any video games or iPads. We didn't have any of those things. My glasses are sliding. If you were to visit your neighbor, we used to visit during the week only. You weren't allowed to go on the weekend because that was on Sunday especially. Saturday you could, but Sunday you couldn't because that was the day that you were supposed to spend time with relatives and family. We helped around the farm. If you lived on a farm, you had to help. All kids had to help, even if you didn't live on a farm. If you lived in the city or a town, you had to do your chores that you had. We were all given chores, and you were expected to do them. We would mow the lawn, drive tractor, and tend to the livestock, and we didn't sleep in late like kids do today.
No.
8 o'clock, my dad would be saying, "Are you going to sleep the whole day away?" He used to get up early, like when the birds would get up.
My dad was 7 o'clock. If you were in bed after 7, he'd almost drag you out.
You had to get up. Family meals were always eaten together, and there was no television when we were eating our family meal. And you sat at a dining room table or a kitchen table, whichever you had. We had a dining room table, so we used to sit at the dining room table, and we had tablecloths on the table. And Lucy, my sister, she used to spill milk every single time, it seemed like. My mother was always washing that off. We
had just a kitchen table, but we all sat around it. Even when it was just me home alone with my mom and dad, we still sat at the kitchen table.
Yep.
Till maybe when I was a senior, then it was a little different. But
for you, but not for me.
No.
No. And we always said grace, which we still say grace. We used to play ball in the road, which you're not allowed to play in the road today. We used to play 3 grounders and a fly in the road, and we used to walk and there was no adult supervision when we were doing that. If a car was coming, we used to yell "car," and we'd all go to the same side. This way it made it easier for the car to pass. And we got a knife as a gift. A lot of boys would get a knife as a gift. And we had a BB gun and a pellet gun, and we used to shoot them in the basement between the stairs at tin cans, trying to shoot them. And we used to shoot them outside too. I had a bow and arrow, and I remember asking my dad to get me a couple bales of hay because I wanted to put the target on the bale of hay. And I used to shoot my bow and arrow, and these were real arrows. They could have killed someone if they hit a person.
They didn't have broadheads, but they did have the practice points, which were just as dangerous, just not quite as severely
We were allowed to
dangerous.
walk on stilts. In fact, my brother used to get up on the roof barn, and
Roof of the barn.
roof of the barn. Yeah, he used to get on that. One time when he was getting up there, his stilt fell and it broke the window on the barn. But it was the only way he was going to get up there. They were 5 feet stilts, and then we had 3 foot stilts, and then we had 1 foot stilts, and we were all allowed to walk on those. We also used to have a barrel that we used to roll. It was an old gas tank barrel, so if you know what size those things are.
55-gallon barrel.
Yeah, we used to hop up on it and stand up and roll the barrel and roll the barrel. It was actually very easy. We used to play hide and seek in the dark, and there were no street lights and no supervision either. We were just outside. And when we were called, we would say, "Coming," and we would go running to home because my mother would be wanting us. And you didn't say what, because if she wanted you to come. And so you came, you yelled, "Coming," this way she knew you heard her. Whew, I'm warm. I wonder why. Well, I hope you all reminisced a little bit about your childhood, and you can put it in the comments, whatever you did that I didn't mention. These are just a few things that we did. We used to play with the cats and the dog, and one cat used to let us dress it. A lot of kids do that today. They dress their animals, but we never dressed the dogs. The dogs would not allow it. There was one cat that would. I have a video to put in, so let's just go to that little video. Yesterday, Jim took the chicken fence off the garden because he said it was big enough now the chickens should not bother it. Yesterday, we ate a few of the hot peppers. There's one little hot pepper right there. But the Swiss chard is doing really good. The Swiss chard is looking really good. It's the colored kind. It's where it's multicolored. Swiss chard. The tomato plants look like they've got a little bit of blossoms on them. They should be having cherry tomatoes pretty soon. These come up by themselves. And my potato plant has no more blossoms on it, but I have to wait for it to die. The squash is doing well. And the rutabaga plant is coming up. Earlier, I came out and gave the chickens scratch, and I gave the little lady scratch and her babies, but I can't see them very well in the camera. Maybe you can see them. She's very protective. I don't know if they're boys or girls because she won't let me get near them. Have a great night, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.